So thank you for coming to, and now I mention everything. It's a new anime podcast that we all decided we wanted to work on. Some of the Men of Misfortune. I am your always binge-watching barbarian, Tyler Campbell.
And that he is. I am your anxious anime protagonist, Riley. Or you can call me Riles. Either one is okay.
You got your boy Mason here, as usual.
There he is.
Always.
In the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to start this podcast so we could sit there and talk about the thing.
No, we didn't. We wanted to start it like this. Okay, now we can start.
Oh, now we can start?
Now we can start. Yeah,
So
we need
do
the
I have
clapping.
The official intro
do I
has
have to,
happened.
do I have to do the intro again?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
They were
good.
clapping because they heard our names.
That's right. That's
Oh.
how excited they were.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad we have an audience. I mean, at least we have somebody paying attention to our shit. But I
I would
honestly,
hope so.
I honestly thought we would start this podcast and talk about the things that we, love about anime, our favorite animes, the things that, brought us to this table.
Well, before that, why don't we talk about why we wanted to start this podcast?
All right, go ahead.
Now I'm asking you.
Oh, why we wanted to?
Yeah.
I love anime.
Yeah?
I love anime.
How much do you love it?
I love it enough to sit here and talk about it for fucking however long, 2 hours.
Hey, sometimes that might be all it takes.
And if that shows my love, whatever.
Did you guys remember when we were kids? If we ever said that, then we would have been ostracized.
I would have gotten my ass beat.
Yeah.
You know how many times I had to hide my Dragon Ball Z coloring book from bullies?
That would definitely be a surefire way to not get any chicks.
Oh, yeah.
These kids these days don't understand. It's now cool.
They really don't.
It was never cool when we were younger.
It's a struggle, and now that we're adults, everybody's doing it, and it's really cool. But it's like I remember getting my ass beat.
Just remember, if you're under
Yeah.
the age of 18, anything you like now is only cool because we liked it.
It's
Ooh,
yeah,
pave them
exactly.
the roads.
Well, it's like with my son. He's 12 now, and they're all watching anime and wearing the clothing and everything. It's just like I'm gonna see one of them. He's gonna be wearing like a Yu Yu Hakusho shirt, and I'll be like, "Yeah, you like that show?" And they're like, "What, Bleach?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you."
I'm gonna have to roundhouse
How dare you bring your Urameshi down to Bleach level? How dare you do that?
As if you should put those same writers on the same level.
Good God! Who's your
In
favorite?
some countries, that is a crime by death.
Who's your
to make
favorite
such
anime character? I really want to know. Who's your guys' favorite anime character?
not protagonist, just in general.
Just in general.
Just in general.
Just in general.
Riley, got anything? He's putting us on the spot, man.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a really forced question.
You just
that's
be
a
asking
loaded,
these like
that's a really
broad ass
loaded.
big questions, man.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what
Out
that's
of
what
nowhere.
we're here for.
We're
Like
here.
you're not even letting me prepare for this shit.
No,
think about something good to say.
No. This is just like the Men of Misfortune. We keep we don't know anything that's going on. We're
We
just
keep
doing
it nice and on the fly.
Yeah.
apparently.
So I need to know who's your guys' favorite anime character.
Honestly,
out of
man.
all the universes.
so what?
Out of all of them?
what is anime like? What do you mean by that? By
No.
anime? No, like legitimately. I'm asking. Like Avatar.
No.
Oh, so
like an animated
cartoons,
show?
So-
American cartoons do not count. In this.
Okay, so I'm just trying to see what I got here. That's
yeah,
all.
no,
So.
you have a breathing ground, but it ain't American cartoons.
Okay, so it has to be
Has to
Japanese,
be Japanese,
based in some way.
Absolutely, it can be American-made anime, but there's
I don't
few,
think American-made anime counts.
There's few
in
and
this
far
fact.
between of any of that. So I could name mine, dude. I'm telling you.
Dude, it would be easier for me to give you like a top 3 list than like.
Then give me a top three.
number
That's
one.
fine.
Give me a top three.
That's fine. I don't know if I'll be able to give you.
I mean,
top
obviously
three, but
Spike. I gotta say that Ed, because he's fucking hilarious,
Yeah.
and Sailor Moon because she popped my cherry.
She
really did.
If that ain't the truth, I don't know.
She
what
really
it is.
fucking did.
If there's any show I can remember coming home to when I was in grade school and Toonami was a thing,
Yeah.
1 would be Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm.
2 would be Dragon Ball Z. 3 would be Yu Yu Hakusho. As far as anime goes,
Yeah.
I remember waking up in the morning at like 6:30, and episodes of Gundam Wing would be playing.
Beautiful. That was a beautiful time to be alive.
So I'm saying like I would have picked a Gundam, but I don't count them as a character.
You can count Hero, Yui,
I don't want them. I want the robot.
but
Gundam's the cool part,
yeah,
not the pilot.
Yeah,
We don't
I guess
care
it's
about
the
the pilot.
transforming part and the
Dude.
blowing up shit.
Haven't you seen Evangelion? The cool thing's the robots, not the pilots.
Yeah.
Well, at least at least not the male
I'm
pilots.
just saying. I was gonna say, if you were 16 and Evangelion came out and you have Asuka in your face, it's over.
I would like to think a big ass robot that's like 5 times the size of Gundam is a lot cooler than the pilot who jacks off over a bed in a hospital.
Fucking Shinji. Get in the damn robot.
Yeah, you guys need to watch that if you haven't seen it. Our listeners.
The abridged version of Evangelion.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was
You can
plenty
just
of
watch the movies.
sources out there for you to watch said show.
Yeah.
And don't just stop with the show. Definitely watch the 2 movies that were made right after the show was made, because they definitely explore more on the series and give you the better alternate ending.
I was about to say,
to the
so
show.
isn't it pretty much like start the same and goes through most of the same things, but it ends different?
Yeah,
Pretty
they all
much.
go through the same motions. The earlier movies that they made right after the show aired were more of like abridged versions of the
Yeah.
actual show itself, which is kind of similar to the newer movies they made in the last 10 years.
Right.
Those still follow the same storyline, but I believe the end of the second one to the new one that just came out is actually more of an alternate universe ending to what originally
Right,
happened.
yeah.
Fun fact: the reason why they even came up with the movie, the animator was done with the series, and he wanted to be done, but he got death threats because of how shitty that fucking ending was.
Yeah.
It was a terrible fucking ending.
It
man.
Yeah.
was
It
legitimately.
literally made no sense. It was, well, in its own way it did, but for what
Evangelion itself is a mind fuck, and then you have this like master fuck of an ending, and people are supposed to get it.
it was something that was turned into more of a psychological thriller
Right.
than it should have had like an action packed, like, heartfelt ending, which is what I kind of felt the movie delivered when it came out. It kind of gave you that satisfying ending of closure and meaning to like whatever all the war was going on in the fucking town and everything, and how it was an angels and demons versus thing, whereas
Versus the humans and what's left of them.
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. I mean, we're talking about a city here that literally made preparations for fucking celestial beings to come down and destroy it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful story.
Oh, it's good.
It really
beautiful
is.
story.
It is.
So Riley, Mason, you got your 3. So what's your 3, Riley?
Oh, man.
Just 3.
Dude, I
Obviously,
had Sailor Moon. Come on.
Yeah.
You got to come up with something here.
if we're talking favorite anime characters of all time, or most
Or maybe,
inspirational,
yeah, I was
to
about
me.
to say, or we're prolific to you, because that's kind of how I base it.
Oh, obviously, first one is Naruto.
Yeah.
Naruto is the true, classic story of the underdog that essentially becomes Ninja Jesus.
Data bio.
Which you can't get any better than that. And although like it gets a little bit more ridiculous as the story goes on to how powerful he actually becomes, I still feel like it's justified in its own right.
He's got
Fair
to keep
enough.
up.
Fair enough.
Moving on from that, other anime characters that I really look up to, Gon from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah,
Good choice.
I would agree. That's a
choice.
good
Gon
one.
from Hunter x
That's a
Hunter.
good one.
That's I won't go too deep into that. I just feel like he's.
Oh, we will eventually. We'll,
yeah,
talk, we'll start.
yeah, we'll have our own
We'll talk
episode
about it.
Hunter x Hunter. There's
love
plenty
Hunter x Hunter.
about
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter I could talk about. That aside, I would say for my last character, and it's really hard to place, a firm selection on this, but I would have to say, and it's so fucking sad because I can't remember his name right now, and it's just, but
You
it
touch
is.
those buttons again, and we.
You even
fight.
touched the wrong one.
I
bro.
did.
Don't touch my button.
We're gonna have to edit that later.
All right, pause.
I would say it's
Pause.
I would have to say my other top 3 favorite character would be Simone from Gurren Lagann.
Ooh.
Good choice. Good.
It's a
choice.
very, like I said, another coming of age, short told story, kind of similar to Cowboy
Short.
Bebop.
I mean, it's short.
Extremely short.
The
They all
anim-
say
the
the best
anime is?
episodes are
Yeah.
27
Oh.
episodes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Same as Cowboy Bebop, same as Evangelion,
Yeah.
same as other various shows that I've seen that I can't remember right now. But
Well, if the audience can't tell, I haven't seen it, so it's like a complete story and like a set amount of
It's-
episodes,
It's,
and it
it's
ends.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
beautiful. By the end of it,
it's
it's
literally 27 episodes split into about 13 years of a story.
Nice.
Yep.
Between
Okay.
the guy,
And it
his
goes-
brother, and people they meet.
Yep, and
Yeah.
it flows
Cool.
very well. The story is very compact, and it is. By the end of it, it blows your mind.
To
All
give an
right.
abridged
Cool.
version of the story, it's a brother and his older brother that start out literally digging in mines.
Is there
underground.
like a time frame for where we're at? Is it like
Desolate Wasteland time.
I was gonna say I can't
Okay.
give an exact century or anything that it takes
Just a
place
scene.
in.
just like
And
technology wise? Do they
yeah,
have phones?
it's pretty advanced.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
The
it's more of an
humans live under-
advanced civilization,
The humans
Okay.
live underground.
Okay.
and there is a
Little
group of
compounds.
other robots that live on the surface that are kind of like scrappers in a way.
Okay.
And they go and they scavenge these planets for resources. And the brother and Simone end up breaking out from the underground, and they overtake said robots. And then it just kind of turns into a story where it's a revolution, where they take on this thing, they conquer that, and they keep moving forward and forward
Okay.
and forward until They're literally taking down people that are in control of certain parts of the world, and it basically starts with that and ends with giant robots throwing galaxies at each other.
All right.
It's a crazy transition.
And
Hey, wait, I think I've seen I saw something online where they did like the scaling of certain things, and like are the characters in this anime like huge?
Yes.
Like big? They're like
yes,
big,
they're
big.
insanely.
They're,
big.
yeah,
Okay,
they're
yeah.
so big they throw galaxies.
Like you
at
said,
each
they're
other's.
big.
Yeah,
Okay.
the level just keeps going.
Like
up.
fuck a Gundam. We're,
Yeah.
we're big.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
big.
You could fit like over 1 million Gundams inside.
Okay,
Yeah.
fish out.
But anyway, that's my top 3.
Good.
So my top 3, I'm gonna have to share one with Mason. It's definitely Spike Spiegel. Spike,
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop.
Sorry I had to take that.
No,
but,
it's fine,
yeah, I
dude.
had
It
to.
is such a good anime. Like Riley said, it's 26 episodes long, not 27.
Right.
It's 26 episodes long, and just a storyline. Just a storyline. By the first episode, you're hooked on Spike. His karate techniques. He's such a badass. He flies the
like
swordfish
water, man.
like
Love it.
water, baby, like water, and he just
He just
fucks people
flows
up.
through the galaxy.
And if you
like
guys have
water.
ever seen the Cowboy Bebop animated movie, I know that the live action's coming out soon, which I'm pretty excited for, just to see how it is. I don't really have a lot of hopes in live action movies.
We've been hurt before.
I've been decimated.
We all have. So.
There are some good live action movies, but
a lot of these
a lot of them
animes
are hit
have a
and
lot
miss.
to live up to. When
Yeah.
they take on a live action.
It's-
you're taking on a fandom. You're taking on a percentage of a decent amount of people.
The criticism is basically unlimited.
yeah. I mean, the internet bullied Sonic so hard that it got it to change how
Well,
Sonic.
thank
looked.
God that happened. By
Yeah,
the
I'm glad
way.
it happened.
I'm
I'm
glad
just
that
saying,
one
but, like,
happened.
that's-
Jesus Christ.
That's the
Yeah.
shit. That's the wave of these people have to handle of just that kind of criticism.
But it's almost nice, though, that those things are left to interpretation. Because back in the
Right.
day, it
I'll
wouldn't
agree.
have been that easy.
Yeah, no.
It wouldn't have been that easy to bully a major studio
No.
into changing a whole entire project.
It would have
well,
it
social
would have
media
burned all the
changed the
mail.
entire world.
Yeah.
Social media, yeah.
It's left communication more
yeah,
open.
we
to
can
things
see
like
we can
that.
see it, and everybody can talk about it.
Well, that's the thing. Back in the day, when you'd mail them in, no one else knew you mailed that in.
No.
They was like, "Oh, we didn't get your mail. I
Yeah.
don't care. Give a fuck about
Plausible
you."
deniability.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Post that shit on Twitter. Tag them. Everybody sees it.
So yeah,
So-
so Spike is definitely my hero when it comes to anime.
You better not say fucking Goku next.
No.
I specifically left him out.
Yeah, like Goku.
I'm going to pass the torch to somebody else on that
I would have
one.
said Gohan first.
Ah.
But
No,
we all
my-
grew up to be disappointments
anymore.
like Gohan. That's why.
I'm gonna invite Gohan to my funeral so he can let me down one last time.
he can call someone else dad in the middle of my funeral.
Yeah,
What
there
I
we go,
say
there
about
we
those
go.
fucking
Okay,
buttons?
All right, sorry.
We'll have to
You got it.
edit that later.
Here, we'll just leave it up just in case he wants to press it again.
We should.
All right, it's
Okay, my second favorite would have to be Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho.
solid.
Hiei's
Yeah.
a fucking
That's
solid.
a solid choice.
It is.
And then my third would have to be Sanji from One Piece.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
live with that.
If you had to pick someone besides Spike, was there a fill-in?
Yes, I would have to say Vash the Stampede. I'm more
Oh,
of
hey.
I'm more of a '90s anime guy, dude.
Hell yeah,
I'm
man.
more.
Yeah.
I love them. I love them to death. '90s, '80s anime is.
And if
is
the listeners don't know, that's from.
Trigun. My
Yep.
bad. Yeah,
Mhm.
Trigun.
All right, yeah, man.
I still have not seen Trigun myself.
It's pretty funny, actually.
I've
I've read the
it's-
first manga volumes when I was younger, but it wasn't really enough. At the time, it wasn't really enough to captivate me into staying into the series.
It starts off with a goofy guy. He
yeah, he's definitely.
Yeah, he's a very goofy guy, and you've got
Yeah.
these two chicks from an agency, an insurance agency. They're trying to total out what Vash the Stampede does to the cities. So you've got these two girls trying to calculate all the damage he's doing.
I was gonna say his nickname is like the $6 million Man, right?
The Red Typhoon, and there's a bunch.
He's
of
got a couple,
nicknames.
yeah.
So he plays goofy, he plays dumb, and it lowers the bad guy's guard.
And their expectations are like, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah, and he just fucks them up.
So
d-
he has like
does-
two modes. He has like normal silly mode, and then like when shit gets serious, like
He
you know how like
he does the glass move, the glasses. He
Kind
pushes
of
the
turns
glasses
into
up.
like a berserker type and just goes
yeah,
insane.
yeah, absolutely.
you know how like Saitama is silly until he's not. That's kind of what it is for
I can
Bash.
see that.
He's
But
like
every single
silly.
episode.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
none
he's
of
like-
us picked him as our favorite character. because
it's not enough, man. I need more.
He's pretty impressive.
I need more of him to pick him. But
honestly, the guy who
where the fuck is One Punch Man season 3 at? Though?
Right.
I don't want to talk about how season 2 even went, dude. Season 2 is focused on way too many of the other bullshit fucking heroes. I want to know what Saitama's doing at all fucking points of the day.
Well, I feel like a big part of it is plot building for what's to come.
Yeah, but at the same time,
because most of the bad guys just get instantly blown away.
Yeah, but dude, his fights are intense. His fights are super intense.
A couple of them were, yeah.
I mean, if you go back to the end of season 1 where he fought Lord Boros, he actually had to hit him like 2 or 3 different times.
Yeah.
And it was an insane fucking battle.
It was Dragon Ball Z level action the entire time.
It was nuts.
So did you not enjoy when they're doing the martial arts thing? Because that was focused on a bunch of other characters too. The martial arts tournament, when Saitama was a part of it, I thought that was pretty cool. He had the wig on, and that was
he was posing as somebody else.
But it was showing all the other people fighting, and then the demons or the bad guys came, and they.
I guess my problem more relies on the main antagonist of the show for season 2, the silver-haired guy, the fox or whatever the hell is Wolf.
The old guy?
No, it was the apprentice of the old guy.
Oh, you're talking about the
guy, the hero killer.
Name? Yes,
the hero killer.
He wants to become a monster.
Yeah,
he's the disciple of Bang and Bong.
Yeah,
if I remember right.
Yeah, so he's trying.
Garu. His name is Garu.
Yeah, he's trying to do that. Yes. You've got the old man. I just felt like that focused way too heavily on the other A, B, C class heroes. As much as I love to see New Knight Rider,
Mugen Rider,
yeah.
Whatever.
He's the one that should have got All for One.
Yeah, right. That poor fucking bastard. Every single episode, he's just doing his damnedest on that fucking bike.
He is definitely a noble character.
It's a real MVP.
Saitama, really I know I can. Do you want me to pedal you?
He may not always help, but he'll show up.
He'll be there,
I mean, there was one episode where Saitama jumped on the back of his bike, and he pedaled, and the second Saitama jumped off, he ran faster.
Faster than him,
Yeah,
so
I remember that.
That is fucking ridiculous.
Hey man, he needed help, and he was there.
But in a nutshell, I agree with the ending of it. I like a lot of the side characters they introduced in the tournament. The really long hair guy that kind of looked like what the fuck's his name?
The one that got his legs broken.
He kind of looked like he kind of was like a better version of Yamcha from DBZ. Like he had the
martial arts guy.
Yeah, with the blue pants and the long black
hair. But he
hair.
got his ass beat.
Yeah, he got his fucking ass wrecked by the big demonic guy. But
he was wrecking most everyone else during that.
And during the tournament, that Saitama wasn't wrecking. I feel like they were kind of building story for him for later on because he asked Saitama to train him after all of that happened, after he saves him. So I like to think that there's a lot of positive aspects from that season that weren't so great on the surface that are going to build to a better story in One Punch Man.
I agree with that. I think that would be pretty cool to see. I know that they bring back quite a few people. I mean, obviously Genos. They have the ninja. I can't even say his fucking name
from season 1. The guy in the black and purple armor.
Yeah, he's got a stupid, crazy fucking name. And we've probably got listeners at home screaming at me right now because they can't fucking.
That's fine.
He actually joins the Monster Squad at the end of season 2.
Oh, does he?
I'm pretty sure.
Tired of getting whooped.
Yeah.
So
he's salty as fuck.
He finally fucking gets his shit together, and he's like, "Guess what? If I can't beat him, I might as well join him."
Exactly.
I think my number one question for that is the tornado chick with the green hair.
Yeah,
how strong is she?
She's an S level hero.
Yeah, how strong is she compared to Saitama? So.
Yeah, with.
Please stand by. We will be back in a moment. Grab something to drink. Call your mom. Check your taxes. Pet your dog. I don't know, man. Just make sure you come back.
Okay, what were we talking about? Saitama?
Yes. End of One Punch Man season 2.
Yeah, I was saying that they just they show the tornado chick with the green hair and use her powers and stuff, but
we're going.
Yeah,
we're going now.
Yeah.
We've been just
no so what I want to know is the green haired chick with or Tornado or whatever her name is, and her sister's on there too. They show her
Emerald Tornado, I think.
Yeah, and she's whooping people, but they never. I want to see her scaled up to Saitama. This is what I want to.
Well, they have a bunch of that's the problem with season 2 is I felt like they focus on the weaker side of the heroes when they have this S class hero killer.
Well, she's supposed to be one of the strongest ones. I
Yeah,
guess.
she's number one.
She's like number one in the hero agency.
Yeah, she's telekinetic, and she's pissed off that they won't send her on bullshit.
There's a
missions
moment
anymore.
where she clashes with another hero, and she kind of hoe checks them.
Yeah.
And just puts them in their place and then goes away, I want to say.
You know what I'm also really excited for? To see the Metal Knight, I think is his name.
Are you talking about the guy that has the
Metal
full
Gorilla.
suit of armor?
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
I want to see him, what he does with that like robot alien body that he took back.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, it was a crazy scene. But also, who's excited for the My Hero Academia movie?
Oh yeah, I'm kind of going into it blind, to be honest.
First one was really good. So
Yeah, the first and the second one.
I
were
love the
great.
second one. When
Yeah.
No, I don't want to give away spoilers.
No,
That's fucked up.
No, let's not talk about that. I think the studio Funimation itself is just classically good at putting out good content as far as animes and movies alike, with keeping the story canon. So I'm really excited to see what they can do as far as introducing a new villain for the movie.
Oh, the villains are always top notch too.
Yeah.
Their powers are great. Everything that they do is fantastic. I didn't go through the A class B class fight. I wish I would have. I haven't sat through it. I stopped whenever Endeavor got number one, and that he embraced it.
I would say it moves slow enough to where that's a good part of the series, or at least the beginning of that season. About the first 10 episodes, you could just easily sit down and binge all of those at a row and understand everything that's going on. It does introduce a lot of new mechanics to the series as far as Deku goes. He actually, in that time, learns that he has the ability to use quirks of other users of All for One. Or, I'm sorry, All for One, correct?
Yeah, all for one.
Yeah,
one
all
for
for
all.
one.
I always say them wrong, and I
Yeah,
know that
I don't know why.
yeah.
It's so easy to mix those up for some reason. But anyway,
all for one would be the bad guy.
One for all is the good-
one
is
for
the good
all.
guy.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's just
You have to think about what you're saying. When
Yeah.
you say
Right.
it.
It's got a certain level of selfishness to the term.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
pretty much.
But
One
anyway,
dickhead, all the powers.
one for all. The power that's shared among the other one for all users. Their special ability, Deku basically inherits them through being a vessel of one for all. I would say, I think it's the first 3 or 4 episodes in, he actually develops what's kind of like a whip power. It's like a power, energy whip that he has around his arm that he can use. And it's incredibly fucking powerful. It's awesome. But he has no control over it unless he's enraged. So it's basically him getting that alludes to him being able to eventually use each power of every user of one for all.
Right.
All 9 of them.
My big question is: isn't the ability for one for all? Doesn't it absorb powers, or is that only when it's passed through? Because if that's the case, he had that healer chick on his back. Does he potentially have the ability in the future to get that, or is that just something? I know it's what do I want to say? How do I want to say this? Generational. The power is it gets passed down and passed down and passed down, right?
The protagonist's power.
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
He has plot armor.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So
He doesn't.
that's what I was going to ask Riley. So Deku is quirkless when he first gets it, right?
Yeah.
So these past people, is it he acquiring their quirks they had before
Yes.
they received the
Yes.
power? Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So
Thank you.
Okay.
Well,
thought
I mean,
that's what
as
were
you
asking.
know,
I'm
each-
stoned as fuck. I'm trying here.
Each
people.
character has their own distinct quirk,
Right. Except for Deku.
except for Deku.
He has what they're alluding to, theirs, essentially, is what you're saying. Eventually, they'll
Yes.
probably.
He will be able
I
to
got you.
use each quirk of the previous users of one for all.
So he'll have 10,
Okay,
essentially.
but let's think about this real quick. He's offering nothing to the table.
no, he's
I'm
not.
pretty
So if he
upset.
passes it on,
yeah, exactly.
They just get his ability, so he's not gonna.
well, the general perk of having one for all is super strength, and
So they're at least gonna get a
Alertness.
new. I mean, they're gonna get the new quirks, but
yeah, they're gonna get something, but it's not just gonna be a full package deal all at once.
They'll get Deku's tears.
Yeah.
That'll be what he passes on.
Because
good, 'cause that
and
little dude
and let's
cries
not
way
forget
too
that
much.
he is actually
him and
the
Tanjiro. Let's,
So-
let's have a talk.
one
Yeah.
big detail that we're missing here is that he is actually the first user of One for All, as far as I know, that was able to inherit all said perks.
Okay, I see.
Maybe that's his perk.
He's quirkless. That's the perk. He can get quirks.
He can take as many as he wants.
So
I was gonna say.
I want to go back to this question I had. Who do you think cries more, Deku or Tanjiro from Demon Slayer?
That's a hard question to ask.
I don't know.
Shinji.
Shinji definitely.
Yeah, all right. I'm asking the wrong question here.
Go ahead. That's my answer. Final answer.
Good answer. Good answer.
Who was busted a nut over their comrade's bed? Between the three of them.
Definitely Shinji.
Definitely Shinji.
What a fucking creep.
Yeah.
Doesn't she wake up when he does that?
He's got some fucking issues, man.
Got some real daddy issues, yeah.
They all have those issues. That's why
daddy
they're pilots.
issues, mommy issues. The issues are just abundant.
What's your least favorite anime?
It's my least favorite anime.
One I haven't seen. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
An anime you sat down watching and said, "Oh my god, I just watched that whole thing."
I
wouldn't watch it all though. I'd stop watching.
That's
it.
a tough question.
I've sat through animes where
I'd have to really think about it for
Fucking
a second.
masochist.
I have problems. All right,
I don't.
this isn't the podcast for that. That's our other show, man.
other one. This is the
I
happy
can't
one.
name an exact anime that I think is the worst that I've seen, but I would say the worst genre of anime that I've watched is definitely slice of life.
Oh.
Oh, is that like the cooking one?
No, that's its own distinct genre of anime.
Yeah.
Slice of life.
Yes, where it's not like a shonen where there's like this main like badass protagonist that has this mission in life. It's literally it's just like the anime version of Full House, if you will.
It's like Sims, basically.
It's like silly and
It's
quirky, and it's like everyday problems of Japanese families or whatever. But they can get really obnoxious, like in certain situations that they portray in the show. Like they have like really exaggerated effects of the characters and stuff, or you know what I mean.
Yeah,
That's where more of the humor lies in that sort of type of anime.
I just don't like comedy animes. Honestly, I am not a fan for animes. Like, yeah, they can make me laugh while I'm learning about something. Fascist Stampede.
I was like, yeah, Trigun's funny.
Yeah, it's funny, but like they're
there's super
serious.
action
It's
in it.
very serious, Animes that are just like, ha 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 ha. Look at this, it's a horse and a dog fucking. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, I have one. I would say the second.
Those are actually called hentai.
Oh, I've been watching the wrong thing the entire time. Great.
The second season of Sword Art Online.
I've never seen Sword Art Online.
I kind of wish I just stuck to the first season. First season, loved it, amazing. Second one got real weird. There are fairies and elves, and I don't know. It was just
Riley, don't mind the chip.
I know that was
noise
at the
in
third
back.
season.
Riley's,
I don't know.
Riley's eating
I don't
chips.
know. He said to turn him up.
No, I actually said the opposite of that.
No, go ahead. We got you. Yeah,
Oh, the
yeah.
ASMR.
All right, you're back down. We're fucking our levels up. No, that's funny. But no, yeah, like I said, first season's good, but after that, I kind of fell off and wish I wouldn't have watched.
Wasn't it the anime with the very strong female protagonist, and then it kind of just shit the bed?
Yeah, she was strong. The kid was, and he ended up like falling in love with his sister and shit. It was just
What?
I don't know. It was weird. It was a thing. They were stuck in the game. It's like dot hack kind of
Yeah. I love Dot
they had to
Hack.
get to the top of clear all the levels in the tower.
Does Dot Hack ever fucking end?
I remember seeing it as a kid. I don't ever remember finishing it or even getting close to finishing it. I don't know.
See, when I was younger, my parents would make sure I wouldn't have my TV on at night, so I couldn't stay up and watch anime on Toonami. So what I would do is, my mom was a family of 6 people in a house, and they would go to bed early because they're fucking tired and they're adults and 5 children running around. They would go to bed at 10 o'clock. So I would wait until 12 o'clock until the good animes came on, like Cowboy Bebop.
Get out the
Ghost
pool.
Get out of the
Get out of the pool.
Ghost in the Shell, home movies.
Oh, surprised we haven't mentioned that yet. Ghost in the
We'll
Shell.
We'll get there. That's a show I never really understood, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I would sneak in the hallway, and I would crack open my brother's door, and I would watch the TV because it was loud enough for me to be able to hear from the hallway. And if it wasn't, I would army crawl into my brother's room at night and turn up the volume on the TV. You know, when Daft Punk did their whole album, the video album, they did it all on Adult Swim.
Interstellar 5555.
Yeah, I watched that through the cracks of my brother's door just so I could just get involved with it. Also, I'm Blue. I Believe I Could Die was also on there. It was a little blue alien. Mm-hmm. And then it played every single night, and then it wasn't.
I actually do remember that too.
Time.
I can verify you're not making that shit up.
Yeah, no, but that was literally how I'd watch my animes. All the good ones: Wolf Rain, Scryed, all of them. Mm-hmm. Good times to be alive. But yeah,
I think everyone at this podcast would agree. Thank God for anybody at Adult Swim and Cartoon Network for letting that be on the air, because that changed a lot of people's lives. To be honest, including ours. I could speak for you guys and say that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If I didn't have that reason to come home from school and watch the new fight between Goku and Frieza. Goku powering up for 50 straight episodes and then restart.
Yeah, charging the spirit bomb.
It wouldn't be the spirit bomb.
Take out Frieza.
Well, it would be the spirit bomb, but it was mostly Frieza.
Yeah,
going Super Saiyan.
Mm-hmm.
It
took a few episodes.
They went to everybody's fucking arc and like, hey, what's Bulma doing? What's Vegeta doing? What's Piccolo
Master
doing?
Roshi doing?
Dude, it covered everybody.
What is Gohan doing?
It would cover everybody and then flash back
Gohan's
to Goku.
crying that his dad is about to die.
Yeah, and then it would flash back to Goku, who's just sitting in this like planet in the sky, just screaming at the top of his fucking lungs. Yeah, I mean that was pretty much my childhood. And then he would go almost Super Saiyan. The hair would almost be yellow, and then it would start all the way back over to Raditz.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. And then you'd watch it all the way.
Show, like an episode from the beginning of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then,
a good friend of mine and I have always said there was nothing more painful than being like 11 years old and watching Toonami or watching Naruto on Toonami every Saturday. During the first initial tuning exams arc.
Suspense.
The suspense was unreal. It's literally, like, I vividly remember the episodes of, like, Rock Lee and Gaara fighting for the first
I've seen that fight
still
100,000.
hold up so well.
Dude,
It
but
really
it's burned
does.
into my memory how many times I've seen that
But
fucking show.
the amount of pain I went through to see that whole thing on fucking live television.
Because what is it, like 3 episodes or something?
Oh, no. It's like 7 or 8.
Oh, is it? Oh, so
Yeah.
you waited a good couple months of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, at least. And then you'd watch 2 episodes where things would actually progress, and then by the 3rd episode, they're doing a backtrack of the last 2 episodes.
Exactly.
And other stupid shit that doesn't count. So it was... I understand what you're saying there. Like, literally watching,
Oh, it was a living hell to be
18 canon episodes and then flashback to this for 2 weeks, and then you get a new episode.
Why do you think that when you watched Yu Yu Hakusho, I said the Demon Tournament is the best tournament because that was the tournament that I watched over and over and over.
They showed repeats.
I'd get halfway through the the psychic group from the new abilities and the new house or whatever, and then I'd watch 2-3 episodes into that, and then it would start back over. So, Toonami a bitch, but at the same time,
dude, it taught us patience or something. I don't know.
It taught me a lot of things.
It gave us an outlet for amazing shows to watch.
How to love a cartoon.
Like every time my son's just like, fucking ads. I'm like, bro, you have no idea.
You wait months,
you
motherfucker.
wait 30 seconds to get back to your video. Are you serious?
Right. Try sitting through 4.5 minutes of commercials for 3 minutes of airtime.
I'm not even
or just
talking
the
about
week.
that. Yeah,
the week in between fucking getting back to where you were. Shit.
They didn't even have to watch the recap because you probably already forgot what the fuck's going on.
There's never a better time in existence to watch anime, honestly.
That is 100%. Yeah, I will agree with you on that.
Yeah. It doesn't have the same
easy
feel.
Now.
But also there was less episodes and it was easier to fucking keep up on. I mean, One Piece, we're almost to 1,000 episodes. Like, I'm on 928 or something like that. I've got a long way to go.
Boruto's only been out for about 3 or 4 years now, and it's already at 221 episodes.
See, that's a lifestyle. I mean, I want to live that lifestyle sometimes. I love my anime. That's what I go to when I want to just kick back, chill, read some shit. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know if I could keep up with all the fucking shows. All the shows that Black Clover, I don't even know is Black Clover over?
It's been over.
It's been over?
Yep.
See, I thought so. I haven't I was waiting for it to finish.
For at least 5 months now.
I am behind.
Wow, I actually didn't know that.
It's not going to be completely over. It's the end of this initial series of Black Clover. There's going to be something coming back It's going to be more or less a time skip, like a Naruto Shippuden, if you
Like
will.
an actual difference in
I thought they
time.
had a time skip.
They had a time skip. It
Yeah,
was
it's
only
at the
like
very
6
end
months.
of the new show.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, I
6
see.
months, and he
Okay.
becomes Jack Van Diesel, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wanted to talk about Ghost in the Shell.
No, I was just surprised we hadn't mentioned it because that's another
That's,
prolific old school one.
It definitely is. I remember being a little kid seeing commercials on Toonami for Ghost in the Shell and original MTV for Ghost in the
yeah.
Shell.
Yep.
And it's just something I never got into. I'm not doubting that the series is any good. It's just nothing that I've really had time to explore.
It's especially seeing it as a kid, it's kind of convoluted and complicated.
I
be
feel
honest
like it's
with
one
you.
of those series that's kind of prolific as Kira, as far as like,
Oh,
Right.
Kira's so fucking good.
a classic anime goes.
Yeah. Ghost in the Shell was a show that I really couldn't follow. My pea brain as a kid, I couldn't understand what the fuck was
actually,
going on, and I would go to sleep and I wouldn't see it again for a
Yeah.
month or two, and then I'd stay up and I'd see it and I'd be like, what the fuck is going
It
on?
was kind of those limited series that they show on Toonami, kind of like Fooly Cooly. They would literally.
I was
every
gonna
few
I was
weeks-
gonna wait to talk about Fooly Cooly.
It's hard to.
I'm
It's really
not.
hard
I
to.
don't. We're not talking about
Thanks
it
a
yet.
lot, Riley. God
I
damn
was
it.
just gonna mention
Patience. We just said Toonami
that-
taught us patience, and
just
you're already
talking about this.
fucking
man.
slipping up. Go in the
I
corner.
was gonna say
Go in the corner. 5 seconds.
that every few weeks or so, at least every other weekend that I can remember, one of the greatest things about one of the most greatest anime series ever is that when you were young enough and you stayed up late enough till about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you could watch the whole entire show. And that show was Fooly Cooly. Because it was only 6 episodes.
We're here. We're talking about it now, ladies and gentlemen. Our favorite collective anime. There's 6 episodes, and there is nothing prettier than something that short that has such an impact.
And I don't know if you know Riley, but Tyler was telling me, he showed me there's other offshoots of it.
There
Alternative
is.
I did
and-
not know that.
Actually, a
Alternative
few
and
years ago,
progressive.
Yeah.
they made 2 different seasons.
I refuse to
not
watch
know.
it.
that were
I'm going to
canon.
watch them for you and let you know.
I,
I'm an
I
adult.
still have not seen them.
Yeah.
I'm an
It's-
adult, and I refuse to let that grudge grow.
it's kind
That
of-
anime was perfect.
That's fine.
In
I
a way,
agree.
it's
Yeah.
kind of it's contradicting that I haven't
Yeah.
because I'm such a fan of the original series,
Oh, it's so good.
and I really haven't heard any negative criticisms on the other 2 seasons.
But I also haven't heard positive.
That's why when
That's
you
right.
brought it up, I had literally not heard of it until you brought it up.
I don't think it's a matter of it being bad. I just don't think it's a matter. I think it's more of a matter of it not being that good.
I feel like they pushed the producers of the animators for Fooly Cooly to keep going. I feel like that's what happened, and if that's
feel
what
like-
happened, that sucks.
I feel like it's like an offshoot of one of the original American Pie movies, but done in an anime. Like
Right.
it's funny and it's good, but it's nothing that is widely enough talked about or appreciated.
I can't even remember if the Pillows actually do the music for every single episode. I mean, that's what they did for the original series. Is every song was by the Pillows, and Jesus Christ, that fucking album.
Yeah, it's
Well,
really
a lot of
enticing.
these
So fucking good.
The main character, their weapons were guitars. So I mean, it was a big
Yeah.
part of it was the music.
Literally,
so.
they
A Rickenbacker bass.
yeah.
Mhm.
it was
And she
pulled
talked about
out
the
of
Gibson,
main character's
right?
head.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Gibson Special Edition or whatever.
she
it was.
drove around the fucking moped.
I still want a
it's
Vespa.
actually- Yeah,
That's the
it's
Vespa,
actually
bro.
based off a real moped.
Yeah, it's
Really?
a Vespa. You
Yeah,
can buy
the,
it.
the, Ves-
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Vespa.
it's the Vespa Cruiser.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of people get it yellow, and I'm sure it's hard to find in yellow now.
Oh,
It-
they're at a premium now. I think half because of Fooly Cooly.
Oh, I don't doubt it. That was such an
To
The
be
Vespa
iconic
is a very
fucking video.
iconic brand as far
Yeah.
as mopeds go.
in itself.
I mean, the whole music video was somebody driving the moped it was designed after to like just around. That was the ending. It was just a little still art of that. It was cool. And then at the very end, you would see her and Takun, or just I think her maybe sleeping on a newspaper underneath the newspaper on a bench, and the moped was running.
Yeah.
That's how the ending was.
It's very heartfelt, simple, and sweet, and something we all dearly appreciate.
You know, there was something I actually really wanted to talk about now that we've actually said it. We've talked about it twice, honestly, through Mason and I, about Cowboy Bebop. I mean, we got the live action movie coming. We know that live action movies have hurt us. We know that live action movies have fucking sucked in the past. Not talking about Dragon Ball Z, but I'm definitely talking
Or
about
Death
Dragon.
Note.
or honestly any of
Jesus
them in my
fucking
opinion.
Christ.
But
Yeah,
I-
there's the
I
Attack
thought
on
the-
Titan
I thought the
one,
Full Metal Alchemist
Rurouni
one
Kenshin.
wasn't that bad. It was okay.
I haven't really seen a lot of them, to be honest.
It's not too bad.
To my memory, I've seen maybe like 20 minutes of the Dragon Ball live-action movie, and I watched the whole Death Note movie, and just both were equally disappointing and very cringy. I just didn't really see where they were going with it.
The Death Note one just didn't follow. It followed the story to a certain point, and then it just took a left turn, and it was like, hold on, what the fuck's going on here?
What's the point then? Is what I'm.
Yeah, it was like an adaptation, and that's what really worries me about the live action Cowboy Bebop. Is they said it's an adaptation to the anime.
I mean, I feel like from what I've seen already, they're trying to stick somewhat close to the actual story. It would be really far-fetched for them to try to just create some new story out of nowhere, and I feel like it would also be too dangerous to attract, new fans or
Oh yeah, but I mean,
current fans
you
of
also
the series.
Yeah, I mean, you still have that fan base though. That I mean, I'm a diehard fan. If you come to my house, I've got the shower curtain, I've got the posters all over my house.
Yeah, I've always known that about you.
Pop
The
figures,
vinyl.
the vinyl.
Yeah.
I've got the soundtrack on vinyl.
Tyler is the quintessential Cowboy Bebop fan.
I honestly want to know what your guys' favorite episodes are.
I was gonna say, man, what's your favorite episode? Who's your favorite character?
yeah.
Okay,
that's
so
right.
Tell us why.
So Spike, it's really hard to choose between Spike and Vicious because they are yin and yang, man. They're the perfect anti-villain to hero.
I feel like the worst
The
thing
villain,
about
I mean.
Vicious in the series is he's not talked about enough.
He doesn't get his own episode, does
No,
he?
he doesn't.
He doesn't. They just like allude to his past.
He's like the
kind of,
Sephiroth.
but-
He's like the Sephiroth to Cloud, but not dumb.
Well, even Sephiroth
No.
got his story eventually.
Yeah, but
So-
Sephiroth for the majority of Final Fantasy was just that
yeah.
behind-the-scenes character that was
Right.
controlling all the strings. I mean, that's what Spike and the crew is following is just that thread. While Spike and Jet and Faye are out there doing these missions, he's still looking for clues on what's going on with Vicious and his girlfriend. Well, it would have to be Spike, obviously. My favorite episodes would have to be Toys in the Attic, the French one with the clown. I can't say the fucking name. I don't have the paper in front of me. The mushroom episode, and here we go. I actually have the list right in front of me. Thank you. Yeah, Toys in the Attic,
Yes, good
Bohemian
one.
Rhapsody,
Good one as well.
Pierre Le Fou.
Yeah, Pierre Lefleur.
Yeah.
I think, something like that.
Let's see.
Peter
And
LaFleur from
Peter-
Dodgeball.
I can't find. Oh, Mushroom Samba. Mushroom Samba. The Jupiter Jazz is really good
Jupiter
too.
Jazz,
Jupiter
yeah.
Jazz.
I can't find the one with the Heaven's Gate, but you know me, I'm a sucker for cult stuff.
Dude,
And-
that intro to that episode's so good. I love it.
Yeah, it's
so
and
good.
that's something that's also really cool about Cowboy Bebop is all of the Easter eggs that are throughout that entire thing. I mean,
Every episode has its literal own interpretation of like a jazz song.
Yeah.
If you listen to it.
yeah, it's the only song that's not jazz in that entire episode is heavy metal, Train or something like that.
Yeah, that one's all metal.
Yeah, that one's
Heavy
metal the entire
Queen
time.
or whatever.
The woman that designed the soundtrack for Cowboy Bebop, they didn't give her what the episode was about. They were just told to go and do it. Here's the name of it. Create it.
It's very prolific and very inspiring.
Yeah, especially
If
with that
anything.
opening. I mean, that opening is something that lives on with me every day. I hear that shit.
It's definitely in the top 5 best anime openings of all time.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack alone is just beautiful.
Brain Scratch.
Brain Scratch.
That's
yes,
the name of it.
Brain Scratch.
Yes,
and
that
then
one is.
my
Very good.
all time favorite episode. I will tell everybody who ever hasn't seen Cowboy Bebop, check out the first 5 episodes because the 5th episode is Ballad of the Fallen Angels, and you get a real feel and look into what the show is mostly about. It is about a heartbroken man on the verge of finding out if his girlfriend is still alive, the love of his life is still alive, and getting revenge for the person that put him in the situation he's in. And it is such a good story. You learn about the backgrounds of all the other characters. You've got Quirky Ed, who does the hacking. You've got the dog, Ein. You've got the female character? I was gonna,
Faye.
well, I was gonna give her like some kind of name.
Oh, she's the Queen of Hearts or whatever.
Yeah,
isn't
she was
Yeah.
the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
But yeah, Faye Valentine. You got Jet. You got the cranky old cop,
Mhm.
and then you got Spike. I mean, it's
Well, after that episode too, I think you actually like for the rest of the series when Spike has certain reactions towards people that are like forgiving or kind or empathetic. It just makes you feel like, man, this guy has no reason to be as genuine and have a good heart as he does because he's been through so much bullshit.
I would agree. He's a very carefree, relentless spirit that just kind
He has
of.
like no reason to be. So
He has no reason or
yeah.
no rhyme. He just does what he thinks best for him and the greater good. I mean, he's a bounty hunter, if I'm correct, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
They're all bounty hunters except for
Basically,
for Ed and Ein, who are just
They're just kind of along. For
they're
the
just
ride.
there.
yeah,
doing
they're just
stuff.
trying to get to Earth so
Yeah.
Ed can find her dad.
Her dad.
It's voiced by a woman.
Supposed to be androgynous, but it's a girl. Yeah.
so,
Gonna say.
whatever. That's great. Yeah, it's and the live action movie or TV show, I wish nothing but the best.
I have high hopes for it.
Please stand by. We will be back in a moment. Grab something to drink. Call your mom. Check your taxes. Pet your dog. I don't know, man. Just make sure you come back.
I could see how you mean she's androgynous.
Yeah, it's so hard to like decipher what he she is because they don't ever say. They just call he she Ed. I mean,
They kind of leave it open to
I was about
interpretation.
to say, I thought that was done on purpose.
yeah. So I really wanted to bring up top 5 least talked about animes. You guys have any kind of list?
I have one that I can think of.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Erased.
Erase is so good. Erase is so fucking good.
Yeah.
I
Six
have not seen.
episodes.
Have heard you guys talk about it, but have not
Six
seen
episodes. It's a very sad, traumatic anime, I feel like.
Yeah, it's is it only 6? I thought it was like 9.
Nope. 6 episodes.
That's wild. Yeah.
Just like Fooly Cooley.
Well, there we go. It's another anime, but yeah, it's kind of fucking.
Can you tell us, or for people like me that have never seen it, a general gist of it
it's
without
basically
without
about-
ruining it? But
Basically about this guy goes back to his younger life when he was in like 3rd or 4th grade. And originally in that timeline, this girl he loved dies. But somehow, some way, he ends up getting put into an alternate timeline as his present self, kind of coaching his younger self to make it so that girl doesn't die, and they actually take down the killer that kills her originally,
interesting.
if I remember right.
Yeah, you're nailing it right now. I mean, yeah, Erase is a really good one for that. I feel like I hadn't heard it until Stephanie brought it up.
Yeah,
And
I
I was
remember
like-
her talking to it about it to you.
Yeah, out with the smalls.
Yeah. Today, Julia.
But yeah, no, yeah, she brought it up and she showed it to me one day. I was like, she was like, "You want to watch an anime together?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's go." She put it on and I was blown away because I thought it was gonna be shit. She put on Netflix, and anytime it's an anime on Netflix,
It kind of reminds me of like the anime
Trash.
version of The Lovely Bones.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that. Pretty clear.
but kind of on a more positive note for the anime at least.
You think? Yeah, because that feels more like it's hitting home.
Right.
But
But I don't want to get too in deep with that anime. I would like to know about the other 4 animes we think are the least most talked about. I think Mason probably has one for us.
The one I can think of is called Desert Punk. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it.
I have not.
I've learned about it. It was for like a friend of a so and so's cousins, aunts, uncles, nephews. Hamster watched it. I don't know, but I downloaded it. Well, I downloaded it and started watching it, and it's like a cool premise. It's dystopian future type thing. Everything's in the desert. If you couldn't have guessed that, but it's not really about monsters or crazy things, but it's just about people trying to survive and the things they'll do. And, water's hard to find and all that other stuff. And just
kind of like a Mad Max anime adaptation.
Yeah, I could say that. But basically, the main character of it is this. He's called the Desert Punk, and everyone's afraid of him and shit. But, like, you find out he's, like, 12 years old and, like, an idiot and, like, obsessed with, like, boobs.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
And, like, basically, he meets this bounty hunter chick with big boobs and follows her around.
That really reminds me of it's not an anime yet, but it's about to be. It's currently a manga. It's another one I actually wanted to bring up after you talk about this more.
No, anymore, and it's just me goes into telling you about episodes. Honestly, that's really
fair enough.
It's just it's like you think it's serious by the first episode. It's action packed, and it's whoa, man, and then like
It draws you in.
Yeah, and then like episode 2 is just like this adolescent boy and him just being a fucking idiot. But it's funny.
That sounds an awful lot like a series I want to talk about.
Yeah, man, go for it.
And as far as I know, nobody in this room besides me knows about it.
Go on.
Because
You don't know what I know.
Yeah, don't speak for the class, bro.
Don't pigeonhole us.
That was used in the wrong context. But
God
I'm
damn
going to
it.
let it slide.
I'll just what I've been doing lately. Don't gaslight me.
Don't
in the complete
gaslight me.
wrong context.
It's like, yeah. He's got to throw some phrase in there to make it sound like you're being attacked. The series that I want to talk about, which is actually currently being animated by Mappa Studios, which is the same studio that animates Attack on Titan.
Ooh.
Really impressive stuff. Chainsaw Man.
No.
Oh, heard of. I know. I think I heard it from you, actually. Probably,
Yeah, I mentioned it too.
Yeah.
I've
gonna
never
say.
heard of it. So
It's-
go on.
But
It's
you
very
said manga,
similar,
right? Like you said.
Yeah,
there's
right now
nothing
it's in the
coming
manga
out.
stages. I want to say there's at least 50 or more chapters out. I've read like the first 13. It's very similar to Desert Punk in a way that you were describing it.
Oh, okay.
It starts out like a young adolescent boy. I won't get too into the details because I like to leave these sort of things open to interpretation. But it's more or less a young boy that gets mixed in with a certain crowd and develops powers and becomes like this undeniable force.
Is this like I always ask the question? Is it like modern day? Like what's the era type of thing?
I would say it's somewhat more modern day.
Okay.
I feel like that definitely sets the scene.
It kind of gives off like old school Japanese Yakuza vibes, mixed with like demons that possess
Okay.
people and
Cool,
stuff
cool.
of that sort. But the amount of violence and gore that is in it is comparable to something like Berserk. You could say.
And I don't know if you've seen it, but Baki is super gory as well.
Baki the Grappler.
Yeah,
That's
super
something I wanted to get
I-
into.
What is this now?
It's literally just people fist fighting,
Yeah,
like really animated, very
they
intensely.
have a new version of it on Netflix.
Oh, I'll have to give it a shot.
Yeah, it's just people like beating the shit out of each other. The story's cool, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely about the animation style. If you ask me, and I don't know, in my opinion at least, it's
Yeah.
very detailed and graphic.
I want to say that I want to add to the list Tenchi Muyo.
Don't know that one.
What?
Never heard of
it. I guess that's why we're bringing it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Tenchi Muyo was it was an 80s 90s anime
Okay.
that it had this average guy living at this house, and then these two. One's a space demon, and there's a princess that's following her, and they're like in this intense space battle, and they land on Earth, and they land basically in this guy's backyard, and they kind of just move in. And it's them trying to basically fuck him the entire time.
That's not what I was expecting, but
Remember when he was talking about slice of life?
I think this might fall into that category.
Just a little bit, maybe, but yeah.
There's no like world domination.
No, there's a lot of
anything else of that nature
There's-
mixed
there's
in
a-
with this.
There's a lot of space fighting, but it.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Space fighting and under the sheets hand jobs.
I didn't say that, but fuck, man.
They're
I don't
definitely going on in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
It's
What's
not
this
the
called
plot.
again? What'd you
Tenchi Moyo.
Tenchi Moyo.
All
Okay.
right.
It's really good. The weapons are like lightsabers.
And where did you
Okay,
actually
cool.
originally see this at?
Toonami?
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Well,
Do
I
you
think
know
it
what
was-
like time frame? Like what year?
Oh,
Like late 90s, early 2000s?
late 90s.
Okay.
Late 90s. I want to say it was on.
That sounds
And I want to say on the adult, I think might have been on Adult Swim, the Adult Swim version of this. It definitely had some holdbacks. There was not a lot of, I don't know, like romance type thing and mostly focus on the action.
I was gonna say it's. I mean, on cable TV in the United States.
And then the second you'd get like
it's
the
probably
box
an
set.
abridged version.
Yeah,
of what it
and
Yeah,
honestly,
actually
that
is.
version was supreme. I mean, it was just like the girls would fight over him for a second, and then some shit would happen, and then they would go out in space and just fucking annihilate him.
Well, I definitely feel like that's
All right.
something for myself and our listeners here to check out. I would. It definitely seems like something that's right up my alley. As far as
We told the class at the beginning you have pen and paper, right?
Yeah.
You guys should have it.
Yeah, if
Are you
you're
guys taking this
driving-
down or
If
not?
you're
Is it-
driving, go ahead and just continue driving. Pull out a pen, write down these names.
Yeah, and if you don't remember us telling you that, go ahead and when this is done, listen to it again.
or tell your friend
Tell
to
your
listen to it.
friend.
Yeah,
and then tell
there you go. And tell him to tell you.
We here are doing our damnedest.
I
Get
found
this
I have
thing
an
off the ground.
I have another one. Not to
Go
sorry.
on.
Plug
No,
us.
no,
We got
no,
one
no,
left.
no, no,
No,
no.
we
got one
We got
left.
two. We got two because yours.
Yeah, we got
yours,
two. We
Yours
got
was
two.
a manga. We were talking about anime. You
I
found a
still-
loophole in the
I
situation.
still think it counts.
No,
It's getting
No.
ready to be an anime.
when it gets there, it gets there, and then we get to see from there how it turns out.
It's gonna be great. That's all I can tell
I'll
you.
take your word for it. I'll take your
I
word
got-
for it. I'll
got
give it a
people,
shot.
Know some people. That
Yeah.
Know some people.
I know some people
So
that
okay,
were
go
in
ahead.
touch with some people that knew some people. Yeah. Anyway.
Go ahead. Go with the list.
So I feel like mine. It's a newer one, and when it first came out, I feel like a lot of people talked about it, but I'm not 100% sure why they didn't continue with it. I don't know if like the studio just broke down, or no one wanted to, or money, or I don't know. But it was Dead Man Wonderland.
Dead Man Wonderland.
Yep.
Holy shit! You know
Yeah,
why?
I
they
don't
didn't-
hear a lot of people talk about it.
You
I've
know
heard a
why?
lot about
'Cause
it,
he talked like this.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen the anime.
Yeah.
My power needs blood, so I'm gonna.
There's
whine every time
Evangelion
I-
posters behind us, and that motherfucker's a bitch.
Don't even compare
Just
the
saying.
two.
I've definitely
Just
heard this
saying.
anime advertised through Toonami before. I will say that. I've
It's
seen-
like you guys like Squid Games,
Love Squid Games.
it's like the anime version.
Yeah,
With, like,
I know
superpowers
know
and shit,
exactly what
so.
it is.
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, Dead
Yeah.
Man Wonderland is a
It's
prison.
cool. It's a prison. Yeah.
You have to fight in giant robots.
No,
for
you fight with blood.
unspecified amount.
Well,
of
like
money.
at first you just fight with no powers, and you start to realize that about a bunch of people have crazy powers, and
You-
they
you-
all start fighting.
The main
so.
character
cool.
fights with
Yeah,
blood, and he's
with
got like a
blood.
blood ring that he like
Mhm.
slices his hand with.
Ooh,
You know,
and he-
shoot blood balls. and
Yeah.
shit.
nice.
So, it's the thing
So
is
it's like the main Blade antagonist. I'm just kidding. That was supposed to be a joke.
You mean Wesley Snipes?
No.
I don't-
Frost.
He was in Blade.
Deacon
I
Frost.
thought he was Blade. Who's Deacon Frost?
He's
Who
not.
is
He's
this?
not. He's his own worst enemy. Yeah. Exactly.
All I know is I
Should
walked.
have paid his fucking taxes.
Dude, I walked into the forest and there was a bullfrog
I fucking.
next to a blueberry bush.
That
And
was
then-
probably.
then it all became clear.
Sometimes you're a squatchologist.
Never go
That's right.
rowboating on a Tuesday. I don't know.
Hold on. We just did a Patreon interview with a squatchologist. If you guys haven't listened to it, check it out on Patreon.
Oh, it's a good one.
By the time this episode is out, this will also be on Patreon. So if you're not listening to the first one,
Yeah.
why are you listening to the
Yeah.
second one?
We can only hope that you're listening to the second one because you listened to the
See?
first one.
So obviously everyone in this room knows what we're talking about when we drop jokes about what happened in the Squatchology episode.
Go ahead
So-
and give him a little knowledge on the quote.
Oh, the best quote is, every Squatchologist is a Squatchologist, but not every Squatchologist is a Squatchologist. Appropriate timing.
Yeah.
Good.
Honestly-
Good
That's
job.
not even the sound clip I wanted to use, but
No, it worked great. I loved
Honestly,
it.
it was probably the best episode, the Meta Misfortune I've ever
It-
had.
I think the people that will get it will love it.
Yeah.
I honestly think that's what it is.
and you could
so.
be one of those people that gets it for only 99 cents a month.
Oh, so
You could have
good of a plug.
Access to so many great things.
Also,
This is
check out
true.
our Anchor, our Spotify. Our email is metamisfortune@gmail.com. We'll run underneath the same email for all the shows, just to centralize all of the activity.
Mhm.
For your convenience. sake.
Eventually, this is going to have a page. This is going to be a regular show now. And now I mention everything. Remember that fucking name. Digest that fucking name. Sleep with that fucking name, you
And
bitches.
if you say it slow enough, you might see what it spells out.
If you say it 5 times in a mirror, you're going to see Mason pop out, ask you if he wants to fucking cook for you.
I'm gonna pop out and be like, "Did you pay the Patreon?"
He's going to be showing up on your doorstep like little orphan Oliver Twist asking for more money.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Can I have 99 cents a month? But anyways, to get back to what we were talking about, I believe we said 5 animes that aren't talked about enough in this modern day and age.
We had to plug ourselves.
Yes.
Just a little bit. I would like to go ahead and cap this off here. It's something that I watched somewhat recently that I haven't really had the opportunity to talk to a lot of people about. And not to say it's because it's underappreciated, but I feel like just not enough people have watched it yet. Tower of God.
Nope.
It's
Negative.
a Crunchyroll exclusive.
Wow, might be why.
And it's, I want to say, maybe a little more than 20 episodes.
Okay.
But it's a really astounding story about a guy that basically takes on a challenge in a tower that's so many odd levels to more or less reunite with his lover that left him to take on said tower challenge and achieve a certain accomplishment.
Okay. Then.
I won't go too extreme into the details, but I will definitely say it is a more modern, timeless anime that definitely deserves recognition.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. And if you're referring to it, man, or if you're referring me to it, I'm definitely gonna have to check it out because you've shown me some pretty good shit. I mean, the only thing I will always regret about my life is I chose to dig into One Piece halfway through watching Shippuden. That will be my biggest mistake in life.
Did you watch Shippuden when you were younger? Was it like when it was coming out you were watching
I watched
it?
Naruto. I definitely watched Naruto.
What's funny is the first clip of Shippuden that I ever saw was because of you.
Really? What was it?
It was literally the episode where Madara is unveiled and he fights the Shinobi Alliance.
Oh, yeah. I showed you that, and you were like, wow, this is a really good fight.
I showed up at your house one day, and you're like, yeah, my cousin just told me about this episode where they revive this ninja, and he decimates a whole fucking army.
Yep.
And we watched the clip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad I was
It
able
was
to
amazing.
take you down that fucking rabbit hole,
Yeah,
man.
it was like what alluded to me finding out about, the bigger picture in Naruto, which is now my favorite series of all time.
See, some people will be at home like, why didn't you just finish Naruto? It's finished. You could just jump on One Piece after it's done. There's not that many episodes of Naruto, or Shippuden, I mean. You could easily have done it. But what happened was these guys had finished the series before I had even gotten halfway through it. And the fuck? Yeah. Mason, fix this. Why would you do that again?
That one was for Riley.
He tried to shy me away from doing an effect, and
It didn't work.
it just created a long,
Listen-
awkward silence.
Listen to your stomach.
where we-
And whenever that's a conscious. That's where I
this is
bleed
where we
out.
find our real.
Don't tell me
fan
how to
base.
run my podcast.
Oh.
Anyways, you were saying
What had happened was.
what had happened?
That was verbatim
About
what
what?
you said. What had happened was
Naruto.
Oh, yeah. These guys were talking about it, constantly. I mean, they anytime they would get together, we were playing Neo every fucking day, Neo 2, and we were just decimating it. I mean, we were playing it every single day. We had beaten all the difficulties. We were finding all the bullshit. We almost 100%ed it. And the entire time we played that game, these two motherfuckers were just explaining the fucking story every single fucking
Yeah, we were
night.
just trying to hype you up to watch it.
But it ruined it for me. That's what happened.
The second part of that joke
I got burnt out.
that the viewers don't know is the fact that I learned about Naruto from you, Riley.
Yeah,
And
Mason-
I started watching it. So then
Mason
Tyler
showed
had
up
to
at my
hear about
house
it.
when I was watching a certain episode.
So basically what you're saying is
I
everything
was-
that happened in Neo 2 was your fault for showing him that video.
I hate how time works.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a cruel bitch.
I have a way of bringing people together and pushing them apart. Apparently.
Eventually I'll get to it. But right now I'm on the One Piece wagon. Mason, what are you watching right now?
Oh, actually I just re-downloaded Claymore and I was watching that. I just kind of
Such a good series.
I just kind of had an urge to watch.
Actually, I haven't
That
seen
is
it.
definitely an honorable mention in series
Yes,
that are not talked
that's
about
actually.
enough.
Thank you. It is very good. I actually like. I don't like the ending, but it's hot bitches with big swords killing monsters. It's great.
Riley, what are you watching now?
So I've actually taken somewhat of a break from anime.
What? Why?
You just get burnt out after a while.
I'm on a break from
Yeah.
One Piece right now.
I watched, I don't know, a lot of Black Clover. Then I segued into Boruto. Got completely caught up on Boruto. Watched 220 episodes of that. Was watching Black Clover in between that.
I know. Recently, we've been watching Demon Slayer and
I was watching
My
Demon
Hero
Slayer.
on and off as the year was going on. I know
Yeah.
we were watching that.
I
would say a constant
keeping
in my life is definitely Boruto right now.
Yeah.
Been watching that on a weekly basis, and
He showed me one of the latest episodes, and I was actually kind of blown
Yeah,
away.
it's,
hated it. I
it's
hated the name,
impressive.
and I thought it would be.
It's
I thought it would be something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I watched it, I was like, "Oh, it's just gonna be a Naruto ripoff, except Boruto." And I don't know why Riley's obsessed with it right now. Why? I'll see what it's about. And he put it on, and we watched it. I was like, "Ah,
They progressed the story.
fucking
Literally,
good."
like
it's good
in
for
a new
reason.
way. It's great. Yeah.
It's as much of a spinoff as Naruto can be.
Mm-hmm.
It has its namesakes to it that are cheesy and cringy and almost a ripoff in some states, but it definitely holds its own as an anime.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
But I've been watching that, and more recently I've been watching Black Clover. I would say that's my most recent
Black
anime.
Clover is so fucking good.
It is. It's extremely underrated. I don't
so
feel like
fucking good.
it's talked about enough.
If you're in
Like,
Jump Force, you gotta be worth mentioning. So
yeah.
If anybody's listening to this and they want hands in Jump Force, email me, Tyler Campbell at menofmisfortune@gmail.com, and I will fucking beat your ass.
make the subject of the email Jump Force.
Yeah, and I will
Yeah.
fucking meet you on the courts, baby. Let's
He
go.
will 1v1 you right now.
I will
Yeah.
fuck you up.
Yeah.
Who you main? Who you main right now?
What's your team?
Mm-hmm.
Come at me.
Goku.
No, get
Goku
that trash out. Get
and
that trash
the-
right on out of here.
Videl. I mean, Videl's not even in there.
It'd be a fucking joke if she was. Don't wish that evil upon that kid. Don't wish that. Don't wish that upon any.
I can't do more. I can't do any
Tenkaichi
more evil
3
to
had to
that
suffer
game
with
than it's
that.
already done to itself.
Bam.
Not that this Jump Force or anything.
I fucking love Jump Force, man.
Great game.
I fucking kicked ass at
It's
it.
different. That's all.
But
It's
I would
not-
almost like to kind of segue where we're at now in the podcast.
By all means, go ahead.
To somewhat of a closing statement. Or closing story, closing subject, more or less.
Coming at us real
that we could
serious.
segue on to.
What we
I
got?
know we kind of mentioned it before, as far as the realm of Cowboy Bebop goes.
Oh, we're back.
We're back and we're in action.
Fucking callback.
If you had any sort of prediction for the new Cowboy Bebop live action series that's coming out, what would it be?
And your 3 answers are trash, great, better than I expected, or I can't wait to tell somebody about it. You got four choices.
That's not as subtle of an answer that I was looking for, but
what are
I'll
you
take
looking
it.
for? What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
Some long, drawn out, really explanative.
No,
I was gonna give that answer just to be an asshole. And you
That-
actually
yeah.
just like gave it to me. And I was
Took
gonna
the
be
words
like,
right out of his
sucks,
mouth.
sucks.
Trash,
Yeah,
garbage.
that's what I was gonna say. But no, I think legitimately for me, like I would love to be proven wrong. Like I would
Yeah.
love if it was
John
great.
Cho.
There's
I
nothing
love,
more
I
than I
love
love
John
than
Cho.
Yeah,
Love John Cho.
I think Harold from Harold and Kumar can pull it off.
John Cho.
I don't think his hair is long enough.
He grew it out.
He did a little bit,
For the,
not as like much as Spike. Like I've seen the preview images for it.
he is a
And
white
so-
guy
okay,
afro.
So if you're actually going to bring that up as a reason as to why the live action isn't, similar to the anime, it's because that for that same fundamental reason, I think is why most of them fail, because you're trying to copy something that's literally fictional in the sense of like it's not
Exactly.
even
Your
it's not
bar
even
is up
human.
here.
It's
The
really
cartoon
really
is right-
hard
or
to
right
make it
here,
lifelike.
You know.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. If you're already picking that apart right now and you only see the trailer.
If you tried to bring an actual anime character to life and, facial feature-wise, it would probably be terrifying.
Yeah, I absolutely.
Think of like
I agree with
Alita
that.
Battle Angel, but in real life.
A face with back problems.
And gigantic eyes. And eyebrows.
I feel like there's a better way to convey scale and like reality in 3 dimensions without actually using like real life stuff. That's my thing. I'm a firm believer in like I don't think anime should cross into like my reality.
Me either.
Like people. Like,
Me either.
I love it for what it is. It's an escape from my reality.
I don't think
basically.
it really needs interpreted in other fashions.
Yeah,
I firmly agree with you guys. I believe that an anime is perfect the way it is. I watch it because it is everything that real life can't be.
Like if okay, so just think if they let's say they released the live action series of Cowboy Bebop, but it wasn't called that, and we never saw an anime that it was based upon of. I really don't feel like something like that could succeed. Mm-mm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in its own self, without having a fan base, without knowing about it, without I don't know.
If we really want to get on the subject of parodies of animes and different interpretations of it, what do you guys think about Outlaw Star? Because if you ask me, Outlaw Star is kind of like a bootleg Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
That's why I've never actually seen it. I know about it, know of it.
It's good.
I've never watched it.
It's good.
So.
I suggest it.
I've seen about half of it. I want to say I've watched like 15 episodes of it.
I know when I always go to like my video game resale shop, they always have DVDs of it.
I'll say this about Outlaw Star. This is the truest statement I could ever give about Outlaw Star. If you like Cowboy Bebop, you will probably like Outlaw Star. If you don't like Cowboy Bebop, you're probably not gonna like Outlaw Star.
Isn't Outlaw Star like longer? Like,
it is.
Way
yeah,
longer.
I wouldn't
I buy a few episodes.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh,
by
not
much.
like 2
It's
minutes.
like
Okay.
35.
I was gonna say it's in the 30s.
Okay, so I got
Yeah.
you.
The box set just looks threatening.
Yeah, I
me,
just always see it at the place.
It's
so.
more of like a Cowboy Bebop style anime, but not as serious.
Gotcha.
Especially if you watch the dub version of it, it's terrible. Like it's how they try to voice some of the characters on it. It's just it's really bad. It's really cheesy, and
I actually think that's a very good question. I would love to hear from our listeners if dub or sub. Just random.
Ooh,
I don't know.
You can just send us an email that just says
Or
dub
if you have an
sub.
opinion about it, yeah, man. Like,
Why
us know.
dub? Why sub?
Yeah.
At metamisfortune@gmail.com. Please send us an email. Post it on the page. We'd love to hear from you. Everybody's got access.
tell us about your favorite animes, your least favorite animes. I mean,
yeah, whatever.
Why
man.
you love them. Who your favorite character is, whether it be a hero, whether it be a villain.
So, we'll go around. Are you sub or dub? Do you lean towards?
Okay, so because I've watched like
let us answer the ultimate question here.
because I've watched about 700 episodes of One Piece subtitled, I was originally dubbed. I didn't hear the issue.
Yeah.
And then I watched subbed, and it makes sense. Like when
Yeah.
I watched Squid Games, people were like, "Oh, I couldn't get past the whiny character," and I was like, "Did you turn it in the language it was supposed to be in?"
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, why?" And it makes the movie so
makes
much
a
better.
world of
Exactly.
mouth
You're
movements
dumb.
actually
Give it a
match what
shot,
they're
for
saying.
fuck's sake. I've seen too many people that are like, "I don't want to read when I watch something." It's like, then don't bother.
It's really not that hard because when they're speaking it, like
Just follow
they
along.
say it like you would read it. So
Yeah.
you can kind
Yeah.
of guess what they're saying.
There's definitely
like,
emotion in what they're saying.
exactly.
How
It's not
they're
a
saying
it's
it.
not a robot just
No.
talking. Reading
If
text back.
Disney,
When it's dubbed like that, it does sound like a
Yeah.
robot.
if old racist Disney cartoons taught us anything, it's to follow the bouncing ball on the lyrics. And with that note, I'm going to go ahead and say I am your binge-watching barbarian, Tyler Campbell.
I am your anxious antagonist anime watcher, Riley Wallen, a.k.a. The Riles, a.k.a. I Own This House. And to my left, I have the one and only.
As always, your boy Mason.
And we are fucking out.
So you.
Out. You specifically said that, and then made a joke about it.
We have to say the name of the group, and we have to mention. We have to also mention Spotify. We have to mention the other names of the show. We have to mention being on Spotify,
All right,
Anchor,
well.
all the other
Yeah,
stuff.
no,
We have
yeah.
to talk about what's
Now
going
I
on in the
mention
group.
Everything.
Yeah.
We're going on there, still going on here.
We're still going on there.
So yeah, if you guys could check out Spotify, Men of Misfortune. We have Morning Cup of Chaos that's coming.
And now I mention everything.
And now I mention everything with these boys. You can get us on Anchor anywhere you're listening this to right now. You can
Wherever you get your local podcast at, man.
Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Bandcamp,
That means just gotta Google it.
your mom's CD player.
Yeah, just anywhere you can steal that shit and just go ahead and become, one of us. We
Become
love you guys.
misfortunate with the rest of us.
Yeah, we love you. And if you want to hear more of And Now I Mention Everything, go ahead and shoot us an email, message us on Facebook, find us anywhere, What? Oh.